In this section, we're going to go over how to print out an outstanding checklist in Quickbooks. Now, Quickbooks does not have a standard report where you could just generate an outstanding checklist. So we're going to show you one of the ways you can get a list of outstanding checks that you could give to your manager, the Treasury Department, whoever would be interested in such a report. And outstanding checks are basically checks that your company has issued that have not been cashed by the particular vendors that the checks were written out to. And what you want to do is you want to click on checks as being cleared. So to do this, you can go to Banking, select Reconcile, make sure you have the correct bank account in the Accounts section. You could place a number here, any number, because we're not reconciling yet. We just want to go to the checks that have been cut. So we'll put a number here, we'll select Continue, and we'll have a list on the left side of checks that have been cut and they are not part of last month's reconciliation. They have not been cashed. But let's just say that we look at our online statement for our bank and we see that several checks have cleared. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the checks that we could see from our statement from recent activity that have cleared, and we're going to select them. And you'll see here we have something called an EFT, which is electronic funds transfer, and that's an automatic withdrawal from the bank to pay for a service, a government entity, what have you. So this is automatically something that would be cashed. Sometimes there's a delay, you just want to make sure, but usually that's something that's instantaneous, automatic within a day. And let's just say we looked at our bank statement and we found that check number 3 and 5 have been cashed. So we're going to select these items as cleared. Then we're going to select Leave. Now we are going to go to Reports, Accountant and Taxes. We're going to select General Ledger, and we're going to select Modify Report. We're going to select a date string that's reasonable for checks to be cut and to be cashed. And so we're going to start from the beginning of the year. And at columns, we're going to add a column called Cleared, CLR. Then we're going to go to Filters. For Account, we're only going to select the bank account we want the outstanding checks list for. And then at Filter, we're going to select Cleared, and what we want for cleared, we want items that have not been cleared. We do not want all the checks that have cleared that we have reconciled in other periods. So we're going to select No. And then we're going to select OK. And you'll see only an activity that has not cleared. So we are then going to select Export, and then we're going to select a new Excel workbook, and we're going to select Export. We will then go into Excel where the file has been uploaded to, and we're going to clear out all the data that is not relevant, and we're left with the data that is. You'll see we have asterisks for cleared. These are checks that we have selected that have cleared. So what we can do is we could select the columns and click on Filter, and we'll select Filter, and you'll see little arrows on the columns. And what we want to do at where the cleared column is, we're going to select the down arrowhead, and we do not want the cleared items, only the ones that aren't. So we're going to deselect this box, and we're going to select OK. And you will see we also have here activity by a deposit. Now we do not want that information on our report because it is not relevant. It's not a check that has not been cashed. So we're going to click on the down arrowhead at type, and we're going to deselect deposit. You'll see we have a sales tax payment, and this is one that a check has been issued for. You can also have sales tax payments planned for as an electronic funds transfer in the future. If it is an EFT planned in the future, you would also want that amount on this report because it is funds that have been promised, and it will need to be covered by having funds in the bank. So we're going to deselect deposit, and we're going to select OK. Now we have a report that lists all the checks that have not been cashed and the amounts and the vendor. So now we know how much money is needed in the bank to cover these checks that are still outstanding. And you could beautify the report by deleting columns that aren't pertinent, like the split column, the debit column, the balance column. And you could also generate a report from QuickBooks without these columns by simply deselecting them in the Modify Report section. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you are summing up only the amounts that are outstanding. And to do that, you can select Formulas, select Auto Sum, and you could see now we have the sum of only the outstanding checks. So this is one way to generate an outstanding checklist in QuickBooks.